Yeah, appreciate you guys being here. Obviously not the tournament that we wanted to be in. A lot of emotions over the last probably week and a half, but really proud of the way, our locker rooms responded. And, we've tried to shorten up practices a little bit, but I think they've been really good. And I think with every practice we've been able to get under our belt after taking a small break has just gotten better and better. So I'm excited about the opportunity that's still in front of us. I'm excited to be playing in postseason in March, and I'm excited to go to battle with these girls again.
Robin, how do you manage just a longer break like that, splitting that practice time?
Yeah, there's a balance in there because, it's a long season. There's no doubt about it, and you want them to be fresh. And practices. Golly, there's a number of practices over the last 4 or 5 months, and so I think it's important to try to keep it fresh, maybe change up some things, but at the same time, not lose sight of what we're trying to get done. And we want to make sure that we're connected on all cylinders and ready to go battle against a really good Illinois State team. And so just that balance of that. We had a day where practice was really short. We went in and played volleyball, and that was kind of fun to see them just relax and laugh and smile and, just enjoy being around each other. We had a cookout and watched the men's game, SEC tournament game, and so that was a nice opportunity. Took a couple days off right after the SEC tournament, but really tried to manage it more with a little bit shorter practices more than anything. We've still gotten in the gym, gotten shots up outside of practice, which I think is really important, but just really trying to manage the load right now.
Robin, it's got to be a little surreal for you playing Illinois State. Obviously, it's been a while since you coached there, but what's it kind of like coming a little bit full circle with that program coming here?
Yeah, I remember when I was at Illinois State and I went back and played against Bill Fenley after spending 3 years at Iowa State with him. And so, there's some emotions in it, but honestly, where I'm at right now, I don't care who we're playing. I'm just excited for the opportunity. I think when you pause and you take time to pause and reflect, there's still quite a few administrators there and, some really good friends and supporters of the program over the years. But that is not even on my mind. Maybe for a split second when you see the matchups, but after that, I haven't really thought twice about it. I'm just trying to watch as much film as I can and make sure we're prepared and locked in and ready to go battle.
Robin, obviously you guys have had some time to debrief from that Arkansas game. I'm sure you've watched it back a few times since. Just where in that final quarter do you think things kind of switched and go in their way?
Yeah, a lot of emotions after that game for sure. And, that's not, when you're invested and you care, it takes time to kind of debrief and deal with those emotions and disappointments and frustrations, and certainly felt like we were in a really good spot against Arkansas for the first 3 quarters. I think we got up as much as, I think it was 11, and had some opportunities, but maybe took a couple early shots in the shot clock that were a little bit more contested than some of the shots we'd been getting. And then we'd go the other way and give up some transition buckets that really came back to bite us. I think, Arkansas is a really good team, and they've obviously had our number. They do a great job spreading you out. Christy Carr had a tremendous game against us. That was definitely something we talked about before the game, but she was feeling it that night. She was knocking down shots. We had a hard time getting to her. A couple of the rotations defensively, but and then they got to the free throw line in that 4th quarter that I think really helped them a lot too. So accumulation of a lot of things. I don't think there was definitely not one play, one possession. It's a game of inches, and just to stay locked in and that execution in that 4th quarter. Like I said, I thought we had some early shots that were contested versus really working for that great shot, and then. They come down and hit a 3, and it could have been a 10-point game. Instead, it's a 2-possession game. We got down by 5 instead of being up 10. And then you give them some life. I felt like we had them right there, and they were about to break, and then there was a possession that instead of being up 10, we got down, or we made it a 2-possession game, and I thought that was just enough life for them to kind of re-galvanize the troops and make a run there at the end. So definitely a gut-wrenching one. there's no worse feeling as a coach than to see that locker room, and really at that point there's no words, and you just got to take some time and debrief a little bit and deal with the emotions. They're really raw, obviously, immediately after the game the next couple days, because they've done a great job of just leaning in for each other, and I know that one really hurt, but we have to get ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get back to work. And it's been a little bit of a process to get us to that point, but I feel like the last couple days we've done a really good job, and we're starting to find that groove again, which is exciting to see.
Haley, when you get another chance to play in Mizzou Arena, what's this opportunity be like for you on Thursday?
Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, obviously hard to process not going to the NCAA tournament. That's something we set our sights on. But after the break, after the SEC tournament, just kind of processing that and realizing there's a good chance to host the NIT and kind of switching my mindset. You know, the last game here kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So just the chance to change that with this group is going to be really special for me, and I'm excited.
For both Haley and Mama, just kind of having, you know, we talked about the emotions being high after the last game. Having this extended break, do you think that's kind of, you know, playing to your advantage a little bit?
Yeah, I think we all took a couple days and processed it, and obviously that was a really tough game, a game that we felt like we should have won, that was right there, and it just got away from us. And you know, when it's like that, when it's in that SEC tournament like that, it's hard. I think we've done a good job bouncing back in practice. I think we've been working hard. I think we've leaned in. The locker room is in a good spot, and I think everyone's just really ready to take the court.
Mama, in that same vein, how important was it to kind of just not just decompress after the Arkansas game, but to kind of have a couple weeks to play volleyball, to cook out, just kind of have time with the teammates to just unwind a little bit?
Well, we only played volleyball for a day, not a couple weeks.
Oh,
but she was actually pretty good in volleyball. She might have played in her earlier days.
I think it's good, just like Troop said, to have like a couple of day offs to kind of like think about everything, having a different perspective, because I feel like right after it happens, you just have so many emotions, so many things that you don't understand, or like you want to change, but you actually don't have the chance to do that. So I feel like just understanding that what it's done, and now we just have to move on and look what's in front of us and just go for it.
And I guess for either you guys, what do you think that this team has to prove, especially on Thursday and in March with the WNIT?
I think we can go out and prove that we're still the team that started 14-2. You know, we're still the team that has a chip on our shoulder, that can go out and beat anybody. I think our mindset is if we're in the NIT, we're in it to win it. Like, it's not just something to keep playing just to play. And I think that our mindset has to be that, and I think it is. I think the last couple of days of practice has been really good. I think everyone's excited and really blessed to have the opportunity to go out and compete again.
Robin, saw that you bought some student tickets. Just how important is it to, you know, get this place packed and use the home court to your advantage?
Yeah, you know, our fans have been so great. I loved how they've shown up all year, and senior day was a special day. Obviously, it was a really cool celebration for her, which she's earned the right for. And our fans over the years have been amazing, this community support, and I know it means a lot to our players to have that energy. I think they've done a tremendous job of giving back to the community and being great role models and great ambassadors for this university. And I think, you know, even on the hard days, they show up for the fans after games, you know, to let them know how much they appreciate them. And all that goes a long way. You'd be, you know, amazed at the emails that I get that they just talk about how much respect they have for these girls to be able to do the hard things. And, you know, I share some of those with these guys, but, you know, it's a great group of young ladies that I think represent our university in a first-class manner, and we really appreciate the support. It does make a difference, the energy that they bring. And, you know, sometimes for students it can be hard with their schedules and finances, and so we just felt like, I felt like to be able to, you know, purchase some tickets and create that opportunity for them to come out would be really important, and hopefully everybody can make that happen.
Robin, what does this tournament, what kind of opportunity is it for you, especially when it comes to the players? Obviously, they want to prove that they're still that same team. Do you feel the same?
I don't feel like it's ever been about me. That's not who I am as a leader. It's all about servant leadership and how do I pour into these guys and help them be the best version of themselves they can be on and off the court. You know, I love them. I respect them. I admire them. I think, you know, it's so much bigger than a scoreboard. I've always said that. I said it after the South Carolina win, and I'll say it after the Arkansas loss. I think it's so much bigger than just what's on that scoreboard. And don't get me wrong, winning is really, really important. That's why we're all in it, right? We all want that championship experience. But through the course, there's some adversity. And you know, I'm proud of what they've done this year. I am. It's not like we're the bottom dwellers, right? We were probably 3 games away from being top 5 in the SEC. We're knocking on the door. We're right there, and we went through a stretch that just kind of took the wind out of our sail. You know, it got into our confidence. That you know, that little voice of self-doubt creeped in, and it was challenging for us. But I think the way they've always responded, the way they always show up, I couldn't be more proud of them. So I just want them to end, you know, that when that final horn sounds, I think we all want it to be because on that given night, that team was better than us. And you can't do anything about it. But we don't want it to be one of those where we self-imploded, you know, that little voice of doubt crept in, or here we go again. I just want these guys to be able to go out, have fun, put a smile on their face, play for the love of the game, play for each other, and let the chips fall where they may. But let's go out swinging and give it our very best shot.
Robin, on Illinois State, just how much have you watched out of them so far, and what do you think kind of the challenges that you guys might face?
Yeah, really good team. Very impressed. They got Conference Player of the Year. They won the co-champs of the Missouri Valley, and we understand how good the Missouri Valley is. You know, obviously we played Drake last year in that first round game, and it's a really tough league, and very easily could have been a tournament team. And so we understand, well, I don't know, we haven't talked about them a lot yet, but we're about to when we go into film session. You know, they've got some really nice players. And so we have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for them. And we know it's going to be a battle. I think they've got just a good blend of inside out. They shoot the 3-ball really well, average 8 threes a game, but they were also really good around the rim, shoot it at a high percentage. So very efficient offensively. They do the simple things really, really well, just really fundamentally sound. Defensively, you know, we've seen a couple different looks, so we've got to be prepared for all of it. But bottom line is I've got a lot of respect for them. I think they're a great team, and we're absolutely going to have to bring our A game on Thursday night.
We'll take 1 or 2 more.
Coach, obviously this is the 3rd year in a row you guys have been in the NIT. Obviously you're going into it hoping you can win, but maybe outside of just winning it, what are some of the other goals or something else you're hoping to see out of the team this time? Yeah,
well, my goal is to win Thursday night. I'm not even talking about winning the whole thing. I'm worried about Thursday night. So I just think, you know, you got to respect everybody that you take that court with, and we got a really tough team against Illinois State. And so we just want to be where our feet are, one game at a time. You know, I think last year we should have been an NCAA tournament team. I think everything, our body of work, what our net was, what our strength of schedule was, I think we absolutely should have been an NCAA tournament team, but we weren't. And there's a lot that goes into that selection room and that committee, and I don't envy their job at all. Any year, you know, it's easy to sit on the outside and say this, that, they should be in, they should be out, but I actually did a mock selection a couple years ago. I went up to Indiana, and so I could be in the room and to kind of see what goes into all that decision making and the process, and it was mind-blowing. So I just appreciate those committees, and even though that one cut pretty deep too, I think we're right there, and I think with the WNIT, you know, you see a lot of teams that make a deep run that truly projects their programs forward for that next year and the following year. And so just the importance of having that momentum going into the off season, I think is a really cool opportunity for us as well. There's a lot of people not playing in March, and I think this WNIT field is loaded. There was a lot of controversy on that bubble and who was in and who was out, and you got a lot of mid-majors that maybe won the conference, but they didn't win the conference tournament. So man, I feel like this WNIT is loaded. There's a lot of really good teams, and like I said, my biggest thing is being in the moment, one game at a time. Make sure we go out with our shoulders back, playing together, playing for the love of the game, and make sure when that final horn sounds, that we gave it everything we got. And at that point, you got to live with the results.
I'll take one more.
You guys gonna fill out a bracket at all?
Probably, yeah.
No, compliance. You can't. NCAA rule. You can't bet on it, right?
Yeah,
You can
can't
fill it
bet.
out.
Yeah.